DP driving, guys. Let's talk about male hormones and testosterone. Everyone asks me about it. It's a tough subject. Let's get into it. I don't know if I'm going to hit all your questions, but I'll try. It's a super hot topic. Everyone's into it. There's a lot of delivery mechanisms on there. A lot of people ask questions. You know, do I need it? Do I not need it? What does it do? How does it help me? Etc., etc., etc. I'd have to say, you probably, in general, don't need it. But most people want it, and most people find it useful in some sense. I'd have to say, you know, I'm not really sure how to say that right. You know, the first thing that comes to everyone's mind is erectile dysfunction. And I guess there's a component there in some sense. I don't necessarily know if it's primary. It's probably a secondary or tertiary situation. Usually it's kind of more in the arena of, you know, mood, focus, concentration, motivation, you know, that kind of stuff. But not to say you can't use it for like an overall well-roundedness for erectile dysfunction, etc. It's a really tricky one though, guys, because, you know, you can use the total testosterone number as a gauge in some sense, even though that's not really like a primary mechanism of, you know, making sure it's okay, etc. I think they say like standard conventional medical parameters is like anything under 200 is considered deficient. And I would say from a functional medicine point of view, probably anything under 400 would be a little bit off, if you will. But I would also suggest or say that you kind of need to look at those free testosterone numbers as well. Remember, guys, the total hormone number is how much is just floating around and stuff, but the free hormone number is the actual hormone in the blood that is available to be utilized, and that's the mover and shaker of that equation. Again, I always say this, so I'm sorry I keep saying it, but it's just what came to mind. I don't recommend you going on some kind of Facebook or Instagram ad, clicking at-home tests and all sorts of weird stuff, having some like person out of state or whatever do some kind of like 10-second consultation, telehealth or something. Like, you know, I'm just not into that. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's cool. I really, you have resources available to you locally. Work with a licensed healthcare practitioner who knows you, who's worked with you, who understands you, who can like be on your team of, you know, specialists or people that work alongside with you for your optimization of your entire life. I always recommend that. So I just had to give that little disclaimer, just because, you know, I see all these pop-up ads on, you know, Facebook, you know, all this crazy stuff. And the other thing is, testosterone prescriptions are controlled. Like, they're controlled substances. So, I mean, you just don't want to, like, mess around with these kind of things with just some random unknown provider, you know, willing to just send it to you or something. Like, I'm just not into it. Okay, so I got to get off the soapbox on that one. What are some other things to talk about with that? I mean, the most common, unfortunately, the most common delivery mechanism for testosterone is intramuscular injection in your leg or your glute or thigh or wherever, which is typically done weekly. Some people who want to really tweak it do it bi-weekly. You know, they just try to get that number dialed in as like awesome as possible. You know, caveat with all of this is when you put exogenous testosterone into the body, a secondary byproduct of it is going to be estrogen. So it will kick out more and more estrogen. So a lot of times, again, having a licensed healthcare provider manage and monitor this stuff, a lot of times you might need an anti-estrogen supplement or medicine or something to lower that, because you don't want your estrogen to go too high. There are other delivery systems like gel, topicals, compounded creams. However, I don't know how to say that, but it does raise the testosterone, and it usually raises the estrogen. But also, it kind of, when you do a transdermal product, it kind of converts rapidly into, I forget the long name on that one, the DHT, the dihydroxytestosterone, whatever it is. But the problem with that is the DHT will knock your hair out, or it will thin it, or it will lead to thinning or hair loss, etc. It's not guaranteed, but it has more of a readily available side effect for that. So a lot of the men, they like the injectable version because it doesn't convert rapidly to that DHT. There are other men. So here you go. You get into this huge loop of take more and more medications to fight off the side effects of the main one. There are medications like finasteride, topical Propecia, and other things to counteract that side effect. But here we go. But seriously, it does. Once you get sorry about that. Once you get the numbers dialed in, which in my opinion can take several months, it can boost your endurance, your strength, your stamina, your muscular growth. Yeah, I mean, I guess it can enhance sexual performance, if you will. But I rarely look at it from that point of view, honestly. I will say there's usually parameters leading up to low testosterone underneath it all. Most of the time, it's adrenal-based stress patterns with cortisol dysfunction. Because that's like the ultimate zapper. Ooh, guys, the rain. That's the ultimate zapper on the entire hormonal system. I will say, cholesterol also. It's the master hormone generator for pregnenolone and all the other hormones. So if you're tinkering around with cholesterol, it could screw up some of the testosterone stuff. So, you know, and then that opens the door for liver function and, the phase 1, phase 2 detox patterns in the liver, and that opens the door to all the entire endocrine system with thyroid, female hormone balance, male hormone balance, adrenal hormone balance. The list goes on. So, and I've seen it. I don't really participate too much in it, but I've seen people just want to come in and get testosterone, and it's like you're dealing with a whole full body system situation. And if you just try to attack it from that one angle, you're going to miss a large percentage of the aspects leading up to that deficiency. So, whatever. So there's that. What else could I talk about? So you usually get monitored every once you dial it in, you could probably monitor it every 90 days. But, in the beginning, you want to be monitoring the levels every 4 to 6 weeks, just to make sure you're on the right dosage, you're not taking too much, you're making sure your estrogen's not shooting up through the roof, you're making sure, side effect profiles are under control, etc. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I would say, I guess I should say, at least on the female panels, for optimizing hormones for women, it is an important concept. It's a very important concept because a lot of times I'll see women with very low testosterone, and again, like I said, mood, focus, concentration, motivation, hormone balance, etc. I see that, I'll see someone like with 4, like testosterone of 4, and it should be like 35, something like that. So sometimes supplementation is a good thing for that. I will say, conversely, I've seen too high testosterone in women, but most of the time that's secondary to, there's genetic factors and/or endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibroids, cysts, uterine cysts, ovarian cysts, all that kind of stuff could spike up the testosterone. So sometimes you got to take something to lower the testosterone in women like that. So there's that. I mean, there's a lot of information I just gave you. Oh, I guess the final thing I'll say to you, because this video is getting too long, there's something called pellets, hormone pellets. I'm not into it. I don't like it. I don't think it works. Well, I mean, it does something. I don't think it works the way you should try to balance things out. This is when the provider uses a trocar and injects small little pellet-like implants into your glute with, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all that stuff. But the problem with it is those pellets spike the system hard, and there's usually kind of like, I don't even think it's a bell curve. It might be a bell curve. I'd have to see. But I've measured people on pellets, and their numbers are just through the roof. I've seen one woman, her testosterone is 600. I was like, your testosterone's more than mine. Like, it's bad. It's dangerous. I've heard through the grapevine, pellet providers look for like testosterone in women around 150 or something. Like, that's just, in my opinion, that's just too high. Unless you're some kind of like crazy athlete, like competitive stuff. I don't even know if it's legal in competitive situations anyway. So anyway, I'm not into it. I like bioidentical creams. There's other things there. Save that for a different video. But so that's testosterone. If you like the video, leave a comment, send some information, or send the video to your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel, which we're really trying to just lift that up. It would really support us. And hit that notification bell if you want to get notified by YouTube when the next video is dropping. So like always, guys, appreciate the love and support, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.